The Valorian War Council fell silent as the intercepted transmission played through their command chamber. 3 short human words crackling through the void of space, followed by what their linguists could only describe as aggressive enthusiasm. "Hold my beer." Commander Zixthor's 4 eyes narrowed as he studied the translation matrix. In his 300 cycles of military service, he had learned to fear certain phrases from certain species. The Krellian for the hive meant suicidal waves. The Netheran we remember preceded calculated vengeance. But this human expression, it made no tactical sense. Analysis? He demanded. "Sir." The junior analyst hesitated. "The phrase appears to be recreational in origin. Beer is a mild intoxicant. The command suggests one human is requesting another to temporarily hold their beverage." Zixthor's confusion deepened. "We are about to engage their defensive fleet and they are discussing drinks?" On the human destroyer Indomitable, Jasmine Chen wiped grease from her hands and grinned at the tactical display. The Valorian armada had positioned themselves perfectly, arrogant, predictable, and about to learn why humanity had earned its reputation across 6 sectors. "Lieutenant Chen?" Captain Rodriguez's voice crackled through her headset. "Engineering reports the jump drives are still offline. We've got maybe 15 minutes before they're in firing range." "Understood, Captain." Jasmine glanced at Harry Morrison, her co-engineer, who was elbow-deep in the quantum coupling array. "Harry, we're out of time." Harry looked up, his face smeared with coolant fluid, and that familiar reckless gleam sparked in his eyes. It was the same look he'd had before jury-rigging a solar sail from emergency blankets, before manually piloting them through an asteroid field with nothing but attitude thrusters, before every insane plan that had somehow kept them alive for 2 years in deep space. "I have an idea," Harry said slowly. "Oh no. We don't need the jump drives operational. Harry, we just need them to think we have them operational." Jasmine felt her own grin spreading. "You want to bluff a tactical jump with a dead drive system?" "Better." Harry stood up, grabbing his toolkit. "I want to overload the residual exotic matter in the drive core. It'll create a quantum signature spike identical to a jump preparation. They'll scatter their formation expecting us to teleport past them. And while they're scattered, our railguns will have clear firing solutions on their command ships. No overlapping shields." It was brilliant. It was reckless. It was exactly the kind of physics-bending improvisation that had made human engineers legendary and terrifying. "That could destabilize the entire engineering deck," Jasmine said, already pulling up the power flow diagrams. "We'd have maybe 90 seconds before catastrophic cascade failure. So we better shoot straight." Jasmine opened the ship-wide channel. "Captain, engineering has a plan. Permission to attempt something incredibly stupid that might save all our lives?" There was a pause. Then Captain Rodriguez laughed. That short, sharp bark that meant he'd been in space with humans long enough to know what came next. "Proceed, Lieutenant. Show them why we don't back down." Jasmine keyed her external comms, knowing the Valorians would intercept. She looked at Harry and spoke clearly. "Hold my beer." Harry's answering grin was feral as he began the most delicate operation of his career, deliberately breaking a jump drive in precisely the right way. Aboard the Valorian flagship, alarm screamed. "Quantum signature spike! The human ship is preparing emergency jump." Zixthor's tactical instincts kicked in. "All ships defensive scatter pattern. Don't let them get behind our formation." The Valorian armada broke apart like a fist opening into fingers. Perfect defensive doctrine against an enemy attempting tactical repositioning. Their overlapping shield networks dissolved. On the Indomitable, Jasmine watched the enemy formation fracture. "Harry, now!" Purging exotic matter in 3, 2, 1. The ship shuddered as impossible energies discharged through carefully routed conduits. Every sensor in the sector screamed that the human destroyer was about to vanish. The quantum signature blazed like a dying star and the Indomitable didn't move an inch. "Fire!" Captain Rodriguez roared. 6 railgun slugs, each moving at a significant fraction of light speed, crossed the void in heartbeats. Without their overlapping shields, the Valorian command ships were vulnerable. 2 slugs found their marks. Catastrophic hits. The Valorian formation descended into chaos. All ships pursuit pattern. Rodriguez commanded the rest of the human fleet. What had been a defensive stand became a rout. In engineering, Harry collapsed against a bulkhead as warning lights painted everything red. "Jasmine, tell me we survived that." Barely. She was already rerouting emergency power, stabilizing systems that had no right to still function. You magnificent idiot. You actually pulled it off. We pulled it off. Harry extended his fist. Jasmine bumped it with her own. Damn right. 3 days later, when human negotiators met with the Valorian remnant fleet, the aliens requested only one thing: a complete analysis of the phrase "hold my beer" and its tactical implications. The human diplomat thought carefully before answering. "It means," she said slowly, "that we're about to attempt something that looks impossible. It means we know the odds are terrible, and it means we're going to do it anyway, because backing down isn't in our nature. When a human says, 'Hold my beer, Commander,' you should probably take cover." Zixthor studied the human across the negotiation table. His species had conquered 12 systems through superior tactics and overwhelming force. But these humans, they didn't follow the rules of rational warfare. They improvised. They took insane risks. They turned physics itself into a weapon. "We will accept your terms for ceasefire," he said quietly, "and we will update our tactical databases. Any fleet that intercepts those 3 words should consider immediate withdrawal." The diplomat smiled. "A wise choice, Commander." Across human space, a new legend spread. The Valorians had learned what others already knew. Humanity didn't need to be the strongest or the fastest. They just needed to be crazy enough to try anything. And somewhere on the Indomitable, Jasmine and Harry were already planning their next impossible miracle. Because that's what humans did. They held each other's beers and they made the universe watch.